A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to some more of the Enlightening Venture, and, well, here we are back at it again, with Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. And then I'll just go ahead and say, yeah, things might not necessarily be getting any bigger or better with this. Let's also say real quickly that I'm not necessarily in the mood to go ahead and revisit this game because I sure am going to be leaving this one hanging. Because I'm in a rather tough spot. And by this point, I'm more than willing to accept the fact that, well, maybe not everything should be completed with all this. So as you can see right here, I'm basically myself. You can see the name up there, but you can also, well, take a look at everything that I got right here. All these herbs, potions, weapons. Man, I got what I need in the bag, indubitably right here. So, you know what? I'm more than just excited for what's about to come down the road here. A lot of things are going to be, well, a bit different than I would have originally anticipated, but you know what? That's just kind of what the price of some of these things are going to be like. And as a result, let's go ahead and trade in some of these herbs with some of my, well, with the pawns that I got right here. I got a couple of those, and I got a couple of these over here. Let's go. Yeah, I'm being generous with some of them. Well, anyways, let's go ahead and see if we can actually get through some parts of this game. So here we go. Let's go leave this area, get on out into the real world, where hopefully I can make anything happen here. Alright, here we are. Well, yeah, it does look like I have a lot of stuff here to use. Yeah, I got a lot of quests right here to use. And man, there's really a lot of possibilities here, and it does seem that I'll probably have a lot to work with, and let's basically go with this quest and see how far I can basically take it. And the fact is, I've already managed to do a whole lot with, well, many of the other quests, particularly because of the fact that, well, if you haven't checked all 125 episodes of this game featured on the emergency stockpile, then, well, I suggest you go check it out, because I tell you, the first 125 episodes that I basically managed to put together with this title alone has a lot of potential right here. And the fact is, I've already managed to do a whole lot of gameplay with this. So in the end, it is very similar in many ways to some other titles that I've played, like Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts. And the fact that it utilizes an open world function like many other titles that we have nowadays, this really does show that being one of the earliest titles ever released for the PS4, well, it does show a lot. It shows how, even back then, we were able to accomplish such gigantic feats like this. But here in this day and age, 8 years later, well, guess what? We've actually been getting some news that later on we're actually going to be having a sequel to this. Yeah, Dragon's Dogma 2. I don't necessarily know what it's going to be like, but you know what? For a sequel that has taken almost an entire decade just to put together here, of course that's because, well, this one has not necessarily gotten as good of a reception as it probably should have, but I feel like that the sequel might be the one that could gain the upper hand and allow Capcom to thrive with a now bigger series than ever. So you know what? We're going to see what that's like down the line, but I'll most likely not be able to play this because, well, first of all, I really gotta say that my 3-month activation code that I've put together for the PlayStation Now, I tell you, just 3 whole months I'm getting to myself with a lot of different titles to choose from. I can only imagine that by this point, I'm probably going to be having a bigger, better experience with my time for PS4 related, well, action of all sorts. And yeah, I'd say that, well, this one right here, of all the older titles that I've played for PS4, this one probably is, well, I wouldn't really call it the greatest, because it's debatable by this point. A lot of these games sure are a bit on the debatable end of whether they're supposed to be good or bad. Sometimes they could be in the middle, between them both. They could be moderate. Good or bad, or neutral even. Synonymously. But above all that, maybe this game really is supposed to be better down the line, and because I got stuck in an area with the Gazer, one of several bosses that are in this title pretty much. And yeah, I did make it that far to that point where I would encounter the Gazer underground. But unfortunately, I've tried to fight that thing several times, and all those times I failed. Tremendously. Like, I don't even know how I'm screwing it up, and I don't even know how that's even happening. I just can't be too sure about that. Maybe it's because I just wasn't well prepared. Many of you don't really have to blame it on me, but you know what? I'm not really going to want to hold that up against anybody around here. More importantly, to hold it up against myself because I didn't prepare for that kind of battle. Maybe what's even worse is that I can't really seem to find an earlier checkpoint where I'd be able to get to it. So you know what? I'm just not really going to hold it out that well. So let's see what we got down here underground. We've got treasures inside of chests. And hopefully we can find some good enemies around here. It looks like we found some nice treasures of all sorts. And it looks like it's locked. So that door, I'm probably just going to have to access from the other side. But where the other side is, I have no idea. I guess something else I need to highlight right here. Wow, look at the place I'm in. Some sort of catacombs. Wow. Really big catacombs. And this place is like jam-packed, full of walking corpses. Wow, just... I tell you what, the fact that I had to pretty much change that battery pack right there when I was so close to finishing up with the episode, that's pretty maddening. Well, you know what though? I'm at least grateful to say that I've gotten to this point, and now I can at least consider Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen be an okay title, by all means. But you know what? Now is probably the time where I need to, well, maybe take a break for some time away from the Enlightening venture, because I still have a lot more other content that I need to start producing pretty much. So I'm going to be back with some more The Enlightening Venture episodes. I'm just not sure when I'm going to do so. But, again, I'll be back soon enough.